Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me on a game that I actually don't have too much lag on. I'm doing a little intro now simply because this isn't my cast. I'm a sort of guest on the Realms dual cast here with TheWrongCat. Just going to do a quick intro, as I say. It's a 4 versus 4. On Team Orange, you have Applebringer, Infrabase, Greppy, and Abdel. And on Team Black, you have Methlodis, Baconific, Zephyr, and Chorus. It's a really good game, one that as I say, I haven't actually got that much lag for. So it's, it was really fun to do. And hopefully you guys will really enjoy it as well. There's a lot of good strategies used, a lot of good lessons to learn, and a lot of good players as well. So anyway, before I ramble on too much, I'll pass you over. Thank you again for watching and enjoy.
Gone for two towards the north of the lake, as it happens. What are the other two?
Yeah.
The other two are on the opposite side of the planet, aren't they?
Team Orange have split. 2 have gone Naval spawns, interestingly. Team Black has also split up a little bit. They've gone 3 and 1. Who's gone Naval?
Orange have already got their first air factory up and running, so they're making use of the split economy, which you get with these larger team games. Black have not yet built a factory. And I mean, Orange has got a very early scouting advantage there.
I think they're all coordinating their build orders, because all of the commanders seem to be doing pretty much identical build orders, and there we are. Now we've got a bot factory going up from the triple com spawn for Team Black.
Well, actually, this is quite a nice planet terrain feature-wise. I hadn't actually noticed when I spawned it at the time, but you've got quite a few sort of natural terrain features that are going to make natural choke points for it. And Orange have obviously got that large choke there towards the south pole between those two large cracks, and they're completely controlling any movement around either side of those two lakes.
Yeah, and Team Black themselves have got that little bit of a sort of, you could almost count it a choke point with those cliffs in there, but it'll definitely be easy to defend at least 2 ends of that base, so there's only 2 ways in, so it just locks down the possible entry points.
If I'm honest, what I reckon is going to happen here, and just judging by what I'm seeing already, I think it's quite possible that the 2 commanders who are going for the naval, the 2 orange commanders, will head towards this solo black commander who spawned in the water here. I reckon he may have a very difficult time of it. At the same time, you're going to have the triple commander combo going for these double commanders down here, which is going to cause Orange some hard times down here, so we shall see.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as those are scouted, the triple black team is going to be over there like nobody's business. They're going to be building up proxy bases and all sorts, probably even going for some turret creeps almost instantaneously.
It's almost a shame, actually. The majority of this planet is probably not even going to be used. It's going to be these 2 hemispheres sort of fighting each other, at least initially, until one of the hemispheres wins its battle, and then it'll turn on the remaining hemisphere.
I think as soon as people start expanding, though, we'll probably see sort of mini bases start forming around the North Pole from Team Black, especially, and maybe we'll see Orange's mini base halfway to the Team Black's naval spawn on that little patch of greyness in the middle of the grass, because there's a lot of mechs over there, so they can defend it easily if they do that. That is, if they get to it first, of course.
Indeed. Let's have a quick look at economic expansion. Have you got the PA stats website available to you? You can quickly glance at and see how many of them have actually got it installed.
I haven't got the website. I've only ever heard about it. I've never visited it myself, I'm afraid.
Did you want to quickly look it up? Because it would be interesting to see how the economies fare. It's Nanodesu, I believe, is the part of the URL. If you type in Nanodesu PA stats, that should probably come up if you type that into Google.
Okie doke.
I want to say that Orange have got a slight edge, purely on the basis that the black player on the ocean hasn't expanded as far as his counterparts to the north, but
We've got a few ants from Team Orange moving in on one of Black's commanders, who's slightly further away from the rest of the pack. There's only 3 of them. All it's going to do is slow down that factory. But as soon as they
destroy.
Nah, they're not going to do that because the commander's going to finish them off, and then they're going to be gone.
No.
But that's the sort of beginnings of the proxy base. There's another vehicle factory there.
They're not attacking. They're in range of that factory. They're not attacking it. It's quite annoying.
Yeah, I think they've sort of got a couple of glitches with priorities, certainly. I think that's been ever since the beta was released.
And you just saw there the massive advantage that Doxes have in the early game over ants, where a small number can be effectively microed and wipe out any number of ant blobs.
On the other side,
relative ease.
Sorry, on the other side, near Black's mechs expansion from his naval site, we've got a whole bunch of Doxes coming in now to do a bit of raiding. There are a few there defending, but the radar's going to go down, removing that visibility. And
yeah, I did have my eye on that mech site when we started. I thought that's one of the more densely populated areas of mechs, and I think Orange probably realised that Black would go straight for that, and they're now harassing that to prevent him from getting that economy.
Almost
and
definitely.
If you also look, the other base is sending some docks through the other way to that Black naval base. So I reckon they're focusing on that poor solo commander there first and foremost.
Yeah, I mean, 1 is a lot easier than 3. It's one of the games that demonstrates safety in numbers almost perfectly. But what this solo commander can do, though, if coordinating with the team correctly, is really just spam out a bunch of factories, considering he is on his own, and let 2 of the other ones go for econ while maintaining that little proxy base. Then he can get up some more factories and defend a lot more effectively.
We've got a commander fight going on here.
Oh.
Not quite sure what the plan is here.
We have a raptor versus the bug, as I like to call it.
The bug. I like that.
The bug.
I'm not sure what else you'd call that thing. I mean, it's pretty... I don't know. I don't want to call it ugly, because some poor graphic artist or 3D designer rather, has sat down and designed that thing lovingly and crafted it. It's just a bit...
I quite like it. It looks rather intricate. But
Petard's just up. I invited Petard to come play in the game, and he just popped up in my Steam chat in the bottom right hand corner.
No.
Well,
in the meantime, Black is making a little bit of an advance on this little on-pass here from the triple commander to dual commander. So one of the factories has gone down along with 2 mechs now. If those ants can skirt around, they might be able to avoid that commander.
But this is very. This is going to be a bit of a commander fight decided match, isn't it? This is quite a close encounter for these 2 bases.
Indeed.
Right, Chicken Commander needs a bit of healing.
And on the other side, we have a whole large clump of Doxes now moving in. There is a point defence there, though, but Orange is really starting to make a bit of headway on the naval. Though the wall is now up, so they're going to find it a little bit difficult to get past that 1 point defence, but if they skirt up and round, it's free reign. What Orange can also start doing is moving those blue bottles in, but currently it's 3 blue bottles and 6 narwhals plays 2 blue bottles and what looks like a sonar platform.
Oh, have you just seen that the Blacks just launched a nice little naval attack there? Although mostly anti-air boats, which are not particularly effective at much at the moment. They're not even very good against air, to be honest. It takes until the airplane flies straight over the top of them for them to even react to it.
I have found, though, because of their faster firing rate, I believe, in larger clumps they do begin to pay off in terms of effectiveness, especially when you're not dealing in even number engagements like this one.
And of course, here we see the paper-thin nature of boats in general.
Indeed, they just go down.
That's because they haven't been really balanced with the rest of the game yet, so I think Uber just sort of said, you know, if you've got naval, it's going to be very weak compared to everything else that you've got until we've actually got some proper balancing mechanism on these things. But said, they have got a bit of range on them, and their blue bottles are causing a bit of hassle. At least they've nicely microed that one.
What we also see is a little bit of a pelter base being set up from the Naval Black Commander to desperately defend his few mechs expansions there. So that's going to force
Which
Orange
actually
away.
are quite effective. They're keeping those Dachshund, as I saw someone call them on the forums, at bay.
What we do have now, though, is the dual Orange Commanders trying to fight off a huge pack of Ants and Spinners and Doxes all together. Looks as though this could be quite hazardous for these two commanders. But considering the continual build power...
Through.
Well, there is a leveller being built on the horizon, so if those manage to get...
already?
Yeah, from Team Black, they just started their leveller.
Wow, okay, Orange are in a bit of a pickle, and they've only gone for a T2 bot factory, and as we know, T2 assault bots, I think they're slammers, aren't they, they're called, are nowhere near as effective or useful as levelers at this stage in the game, at least.
What I find interesting in games like this is where you have your sort of main battlefronts and groups of commanders, you then have economic expansion in the rest of the map, which is just left and ignored. Like, there's a little bit where Team Black has put up a few turrets to try and defend 3, but other than that, I doubt we'll see any form of attacking or substantial flanking, because all of these mechs are just probably going to be left alone, around the North Pole especially.
As I said initially, only a very small proportion of this, what's a fairly sizable planet really, is actually being used because of the fact that all the commanders do choose to stay together, as you say, safety in numbers, and that then forms these instant battlefronts between where the commanders choose to spawn.
Interestingly,
It
there's
looks like...
Sorry, go ahead. There was a commander fighting off that entire navy from under the water there. I'm not sure if you saw it, but I managed to catch that. And all of his projectiles were missing.
The commanders underwater at the moment is just a massive pain in the bum, and as Gnific has just said down there, the only thing to counter an underwater commander is another underwater commander, really.
Yeah,
otherwise they can wipe out entire naval forces.
Yeah, because we only have fabrication subs. We don't have actually battle subs yet, do we?
No. Again, naval's still very in progress. You were saying about the mechs being left alone. Actually, they've built a missile turret there, attacking Orange's X in the north. They're using turret creep to try and force their hand a little bit.
Yeah, they're only... oh no, never mind. I was about to say they're only anti-air, but I've just seen the fact that they're putting up laser defences. And there's a leveller moving in now on one of Orange's commanders.
Yep. It's slightly smaller than we're used to being, but...
So he is being healed quite a bit. He's about to go down, though. That's not enough people healing him, especially if the other ants move in. Potentially see a commander kill here. No, those Doxers are going to sort it out. That's fine. They're all good.
Or are they? That leveler's got a bit of range on him.
Ooh. They've got it. That was beautiful moving from the Dox there, because they can sort of move that away and cover the commander's escape. But interestingly, two of Team Black's commanders have sort of forked round to the south, building up all of those vehicle factories. So we're going to see a sort of wave effect, as it were, rather than just a streaming effect on this orange base now.
Well, I would love to see the stats on these. Did you manage to find the stats website on to find the economies? It looks just by observing the Nanolade streams, it looks like both teams have got fairly healthy economies. I'm not seeing too much particle loss from the Nanolade streams.
I'm afraid not. I've been using my Kindle to try and find the website, but to no avail, I'm afraid.
1 second. I won't pull it up in front of the stream, or the recording rather. That's fine. Just using the Nanolade streams as my gauge. As I say, no significant slowdown there so far from either team. They both seem to have fairly healthy economies. And to be honest, as we've said, there's not much economic raiding going on at the moment. It's fairly passive, apart from the two front lines.
There is a pelter up on the North Pole, though, going up just now. So maybe that has range of, 2 mechs, maybe? That 1 mech's on the radar. I'm not sure if it has range on the other two.
That could probably get range in all 4 of those, actually. They have got a fair bit of range on them, those orange mechs. 5, in fact, I should say.
Hmm.
And now we're seeing Black's economy's stalled a little bit here.
Yeah.
Let's see if they're trying to build anything a bit clever here, like a nuke or an orbital launcher.
No. Team Orange is beginning to get into team advanced tech levels, though. They're going around stocking up all their mech sites to advanced levels, so they're going to improve that economy income. You're seeing a few advanced power gens and a couple of advanced vehicle factories now, but Team Black was way ahead on the advanced front. Way ahead.
I do think we're soon going to see a fairly large attack to try and take out this orange naval base. Just judging by the way they've been, I think Orange have got a lot of map control here. Probably a lot more, I would have said, than Black.
Yeah, certainly Black is clustered, whereas Orange is more spread out.
Which does mean that they've got that economic advantage. Have they been upgrading their metal extractors? They've started to do so. Although Orange seemed to have been at a disadvantage initially, I think there's a chance they could pull this back.
Almost certainly. Have you seen the docks build power from the bot factories in the commander base that is fighting off the Black Horde at the moment? There's a huge number of docks factories there. And
both sides have got now defending, or rather Black are now building, but they're having pelters to defend their front lines. Again, you've got a World War I scenario going on with the trenches and the defensive lines. It's a bit stagnant here, but both sides sending wave after wave of units to their deaths.
You could almost say it's a race to the pole. But interestingly now, I think with Orange's little flank up the side here, they could really do some damage onto this, onto these factories.
That's relatively undefended, isn't it?
It is, considering everything's now sort of more focused.
Interesting choice to use artillery bots as well. Artillery bots are very, very effective against base defences. And against factories, in fact. That level didn't stand a chance.
No, there's way too many docks there. Way too close.
If they were really clever about this, they can probably secure some of those energy plants, which I think is what they're aiming for. Or they're going for that Tech 2 factory. They're going for the Tech 2 factory.
And they haven't got much time.
Black are pulling all their forces in, of course, to try and them off that. I don't reckon they're going to successfully take it. Oh no, my apologies, that's the wrong health bar I was looking at. Yes, it's definitely going down.
What Team Black could have done there, which would have been probably a little bit more successful, is rather than push them back and in, push them up and left to cut off the reinforcements, because they had some units already in their base, which they could have moved around or maybe built some towers or what have you. But they would have been able to save probably the forward 2 vehicle factories that they appear to have lost by sending them up and cutting off the reinforcements.
Agreed. But as I said, that's not the only T2 factory they've got. They've got plenty to keep that going. So
we do see one of Black's. Sorry, go ahead. I was just going to say there's one Black commander sort of in the middle of nowhere, not doing very much, potentially trying to build up a bunch of factories just to spread out the build power, just in case Orange does get through after that little scare they may have had there. But Orange does continue to be pressing that front.
Have a little quick look. Orange are busy expanding all of their significant number of metal extractors. They've actually got a few, I can see here, they've got complete control of this area, but they haven't built on all of the metal extractors within it, which is a little bit wasteful. They've got some idle engineers they could be using to build some more metal extractors. But Orange definitely have the advantage on the map control here, and that is absolutely crucial for this game, of course.
I've just been thinking, potentially Team Black, with their naval advantage there, I'd say, what they could do is build an advanced naval factory and completely shell the coastline with some Leviathans, considering Orange has not got a naval presence, and there's that entire energy field up there which is just waiting to be slaughtered.
Well, Black have just lost 5 to lose a further 27 metal. All their T2 metal producers being destroyed here. They've just lost about 70 metal income.
Something else that should be noted, Orange is building up a catapult in the middle of the grassy area. They're building one
to... see commander guy, I think, south. He's being harassed by those docks. I don't think he's going to make it.
No, as long as those docks stay apart, that commander is toast. Because there's no D-gun there, I think that commander's been gone. He's gone. There's no reinforcements there from Team Black, and there's more waves from Orange. He's gone.
Bye-bye, Commander. Zephyr's already called GG. I think that was a very effective and very significant attack on their metal production there. They had it all too far forward, too close to the front lines. And they haven't been reinforcing what I would consider their safe metal extractors towards the rear of their base, away from the front lines.
Team Orange now is managing to almost fork Team Black's base and split the forces. We've got a bunch of levelers coming in from the west, and that small remaining force from that commander kill from the sort of southeast going to press up and destroy a couple of factories and maybe even a couple of mechs as well.
And back on the back on the other side of the planet, you've got a large leveler force ready to move in on the Black naval base.
Oh my word!
Well.
Plus assisted by a commander and a bunch of close quarters docks and a catapult shelling at the front lines. That's going to be incredibly effective hole to punch through.
That's a catapult, and that's going to be pretty brutal.
Not to mention the fact that Orange has also been stockpiling bombers at the North Pole.
They haven't, have they?
Slowly but surely, they're getting there. They've got a heck ton of...
one.
Yeah. Though I do remember ages ago, Oxide managed to pull off a T1 bomber snipe on Mushroom Mars, I believe it was. It's probably one of my favourite games I've ever casted.
It's a little more difficult than a T2. Oh no, another commander death.
Where was that? I missed it. Or is it about to happen?
Chorus is calling for another match. On the basis that Zephyr's playing on Linux.
And there's another commander kill there. The dual commander spawn has lost its backbone, shall we say.
Just a little bit. And I reckon if we look across, they've just started moving in on the final base.
That is a substantial number of docks in defence, though. If they can get there quick enough, then they can really do some damage.
They are walking straight towards those 2 point defences.
They're not going towards the levels.
And again, Orange have got more docks than they do.
It's just a matter of time before the final commander is found and killed, then.
He's not heading in the water, is he?
No, he's not.
No, good. There he is.
He's sort of standing there doing nothing. He could probably be...
I think they've accepted their fate.
Yeah. I think it was good for Orange to establish all of those front lines with all of those point defence. I think that was really quite influential in them securing their advanced economy.
I think probably Black's downfall was not capitalising on their early start with the T2. They could have had those T2 metal extractors up far earlier than Orange. Yeah. And they could have really made good use of that. But they didn't. As Methodolus has just said in the chat, their economy wasn't balanced for the entire game for whatever reason.
I think potentially that is one of the things with having something like a triple commander spawn rather than 2 doubles, is that you end up with 3 commanders thinking they have an indestructible economy and, going all out and then realising, oh no, we don't. and having to cut back, and then at the same time, of course, crippling the single commander who's stuck on his own trying to build up a single base.
There we go. Let's watch a commander get flattened by levelers. Unless he's going to try and uber cannon them. Charge!
I am Spartacus.
They've decided not to bother attacking the commander. Brilliant. He could win this by himself. If all of the orange units...
No, he's gone.
We're all dead. If all of orange's units had bugged out at once, black has sort of won like anything.
And the leveler's just moving away, going, our work here is done.
Brilliant. No, I'm disappointed that you didn't even attempt your French accent through any of that, Marshal.
Oh, I thought we were cancelling that.
That's fine. I'll let you.